Our mind is very closely linked to our energy body, and we can use simple energy tools to repattern the way we are feeling and thinking. In this video, let's look at some simple energy tools to enhance the feeling of happiness. Hi, this is Nirmala Shekhar, a coach and a body talk practitioner from Singapore, and we are currently exploring the needs of our energy body in a map of self-care. Before we start using energy tools to shift our feeling into that of happiness, it's always a good idea to start from where we are. So if currently I am feeling stressed or afraid or anxious, then it's a good idea to take a moment to acknowledge my current feelings and then to use some simple techniques to shift the energy of what I am feeling. A lot of these techniques that I'm going to share, I have learned from Donna Eden and her Eden Energy Medicine program. So let's start with the first technique. It is the fear tap. So if I am currently afraid of something, then I would use this fear tap. And the way to do that is to find a point between these two fingers, midway there. And that is a point on the triple warmer meridian, and I'm just going to tap that point. And if I'm not very sure where the point is, that I can use 3 fingers or even 4 fingers. So I am likely to not miss the point wherever that is. This is the fear tap. And when I'm tapping, I don't need to acknowledge my fear mentally and say I'm afraid because of this, or use my thinking mind to release the fear. I'm going to use energy to release the fear. So I just need to tap on this, and I can do that on this hand as well. And if I'm feeling the fear in my heart, and it's a good idea to hold my hand on my heart and then to tap. It's as simple as that. I can do this for an extended period of time, a minute, 2 minutes. Trust your instinct as to how long you need to do this. And people have been known to come out of very deep fears just through this simple exercise. Fear tap. The second tool that we can use is something that we do very spontaneously when we are young. And that is to find a place to place your elbows and then cradle your chin and cheek. And just settle, relax into that posture. What happens here is that the penetrating flow on the chin helps us to shift out of a feeling of overwhelm or stress. And what we can do is to take a finger and move it behind the ear and then relax. And when we do that, we are also activating the triple warmer, which is flowing behind the ear, to help us come out of this anxious mode. Simple technique, very effective. The third technique is oh my God points. Holding our hand in this way, you can use either hand. And there are a lot of points here that are helpful in making us relax and feel calm. And sometimes it helps to move the other hand either in between our ears this way or just above this way. So we can use either of these positions, whichever you feel drawn to at that point is the one that is good for you. And again, just to relax into this. A few deep breaths, and the entire system releases the tension that is being stored in the body and in the mind. Once our body and mind are able to release, then repatterning the happiness through energy exercises becomes easier. After we have released our fear, worry, anxiety, we are ready energetically to start shifting our body to that of happiness. The first step, I feel, is to start with a playful attitude and using that playful attitude to cross over the energies in our body. Our energies flow on the left and the right, and it's very important that this energy flows from the left to the right and from the right to the left. And this simple technique is going to facilitate that, while at the same time we feel alive and playful. And what is this technique? It's a simple moving our feet in a cross pattern as we used to when we were young. And doing something like this helps the energy to cross over. What I'm going to show you now is another variation of the crossover, but in this we are going to use the cradling technique which we talked about earlier. So we're going to first cradle our hands and then cross over. And if doing both is difficult, just do the first one, and that is a nice way to cross over the energies when we are just relaxing or lounging. Another fun exercise that we can use to move energies crossing over from one side to the other, and also add in the element of a figure 8. A figure 8 is a very powerful way of moving the energy because our energy moves naturally in figure 8s. Just as in our DNA, the strands are representing figure 8. And this is a makeshift one that I have done. I have taken a small ball, put it in a piece of cloth and just attached a string. You may be able to find this in a shop or make one yourself. So what we're going to do is something that probably a lot of us did when we were young. Swing this, but what we are doing is we are swinging it as figure 8. So we are moving the energy around us, make it move in figure 8s, and by moving the energy around us we are changing, repatterning the energy within us and in our aura as well. So you can move it this way to your side, to all the sides. I think it comes easier if you are moving the body along with it. Simple technique to move. I need a little bit more practice. Again, a very simple technique to shift the energy in our body. When we are feeling happy, wouldn't it be nice to store that energy of happiness inside our body, in the nervous system, and in our energy field? Our next tip is going to help us do just that. It is a very simple technique. We are going to tap in this area very gently. As we remember the happy moments or as we feel happy, we are going to tap in this area. Why this area? This is the area of the third eye chakra. So tapping it here as we remember our happiness is going to encode that happy energy in the third eye chakra and from there into the brain. The other reason is our bladder meridian goes from here through there all the way from the back to the feet. And our bladder meridian is responsible to support the entire nervous system. So by tapping here, we are encoding these energies of happiness into the third eye chakra and the bladder meridian, and through the bladder meridian into the nervous system. And when we intuitively feel that we have done it, we can just relax and take our energies and awareness of the energies to the heart. And with our hand now, we're going to set the intention of storing these energies of happiness into the field of the heart. The heart, as we know, is the biggest energy field in the body. And setting the intention to store the energy in the heart's field is enough to do that. Once we set that intention, we'll just hold attention there for a short while, and then we are done. That's all I have for this energy toolkit of happiness. I hope this toolkit comes in handy during this holiday season. I'll see you in the next video when we do an overview of the entire energy series before we move on to the next series. Thank you for joining me. This is Nirmala Shekhar signing off. Bye-bye. Namaste. Do subscribe and hit the bell button for more weekly content on self-care. And if you want even more actionable content on self-care, do join me in the Facebook group for weekly lives, discussions, and more tips.